Something extraordinary is happening in the world of fast cars. A seismic shift that's impossible to ignore. Formula One, once a niche obsession for the truly dedicated, has suddenly become the talk of the town, the office, and even your group chats. All around the world, people who never cared about racing are now glued to the screen, debating drivers and learning the difference between a pit stop and a pole position. For decades, Formula One was an exclusive club, its paddocks filled with insiders, celebrities, and lifelong fans who spoke their own language. But now, the sport has burst out of its velvet ropes and into the mainstream, transforming into a global juggernaut of entertainment, spectacle, and passion. The question is, how did a sport that once seemed stuck in the past, with its traditions and secret handshakes, suddenly become a worldwide sensation that everyone wants to be part of? It wasn't just a tweak to the rules or a new face on the podium, it was a total revolution. One that rewrote the playbook for what a sport could be. Behind the scenes, clever business moves, bold marketing strategies, and a hit TV show pulled back the curtain, turning helmeted racers into global celebrities and household names. The old rulebook was tossed aside, and Formula One reinvented itself for a new generation, one that craves access, drama, and authenticity. This is more than a story about racing, it's about how a legacy brand, once reserved for the elite, became a pop culture phenomenon that's everywhere you look. When the new American owners took over, they didn't just open the doors to the paddock. They blew them off their hinges, inviting the world inside. They understood that Formula One isn't just about speed and engineering, it's about selling drama, larger-than-life personalities, and giving fans unprecedented access to the action. So buckle up. We're about to dive under the bonnet of modern Formula One, exploring the gears and guts that power this new era. We'll see how smart business decisions, the Netflix effect, and the rise of social media transformed F1 from a niche sport into a global spectacle that's impossible to ignore. The velvet ropes are gone and the exclusive club has opened its doors to everyone, fans from every corner of the globe, united by the thrill of the race. In its place stands a roaring, electrifying worldwide show, one that's just getting started. For decades, Formula One was ruled by the iron grip of Bernie Ecclestone. He was the mastermind who transformed F1 from a chaotic, dangerous sport into a global business empire, shaping its image and controlling every detail with meticulous precision. Under Bernie's leadership, F1 became a billion-dollar spectacle, attracting luxury brands and powerful sponsors. But by the 2010s, his old-school methods were starting to show their age, and the world around F1 was changing fast. Bernie dismissed social media as a fad, refusing to engage with the next generation of fans. He built a fortress around the sport, keeping outsiders at arm's length and clinging to traditions that no longer resonated. TV broadcasts were tightly controlled, with every image and word carefully managed. Drivers were hidden behind corporate masks, rarely showing their true personalities, and the paddock was strictly off-limits to all but a privileged few. For most people, F1 felt distant, exclusive, and almost impossible to access. The excitement of the sport was locked away behind velvet ropes and security barriers. The audience grew older, grandstands emptied, and the once electric atmosphere began to fade. New fans struggled to find a way in, and the sport's growth stalled. While other sports exploded online, F1 stubbornly blocked its own content, shutting out millions of potential fans and missing the digital revolution that was reshaping entertainment. Even the racing itself became predictable. One team would dominate for years, and the technical rules grew so complex that only hardcore fans could keep up. The thrill of competition was replaced by confusion and routine. Casual viewers tuned out, bored by the lack of drama and unpredictability. The magic that once made F1 irresistible seemed to be slipping away. The sport was still rich, still glamorous, but it felt stale. A powerful engine running out of fuel, idling instead of roaring. Behind the scenes, teams and organizers knew something had to change. F1 desperately needed a shakeup, a new spark to reignite its passion. The foundations of the sport were solid, but the house was gathering dust, its trophies and legends fading into the background. F1 was stuck in the past, clinging to outdated technology and traditions, while the rest of the world raced ahead into the future. But change was on the horizon. It was time for a new perspective, a fresh start, and a bold vision to bring F1 back to life. In 2017, everything changed. Liberty Media, an American entertainment giant, bought F1 for $4.4 billion. They saw not just a sport, but a goldmine of untapped stories and drama. Their first move? Open the digital doors. F1 exploded onto social media, YouTube and Instagram, letting fans in like never before. Liberty wanted every Grand Prix to feel like the Super Bowl, a full-blown spectacle. They brought concerts, fan zones, and celebrity events to race weekends. But they didn't stop at the show. They tackled the racing itself. A budget cap leveled the playing field, and new rules made racing closer and more exciting. Liberty re-engineered F1 from the inside out. The result, a blockbuster event on and off the track. F1 was no longer just a race, it was must-see entertainment. The transformation was bold, expensive, and brilliant, and it worked. Liberty Media opened the door, but Netflix's Drive to Survive kicked it wide open. When Liberty Media took over Formula One, they wanted to modernize the sport and reach new audiences, but it was Netflix that truly transformed the way the world saw F1. The 2019 debut of Drive to Survive changed everything. Suddenly, Formula One wasn't just a sport for die-hard fans, it became a global phenomenon, drawing in millions of new viewers who had never watched a race before. Before, drivers were anonymous figures. Most people couldn't name a single F1 driver, let alone recognize them on the street. The show revealed the rivalries, pressure, and personalities behind the helmets. It pulled back the curtain on the intense world of F1, showing the human drama and emotional stakes that play out off the track. It wasn't about racing, it was about people. Viewers connected with the drivers' struggles, their triumphs, and even their heartbreaks, making the sport feel more personal than ever before. We met characters like Gunther Steiner and saw the drama between Ricciardo and Verstappen. The show turned team principals and drivers into household names, with their personalities shining through every episode. Team bosses became stars, and the season became a high-stakes soap opera. Every race weekend felt like a new episode, packed with tension, strategy, and unexpected twists. New fans, especially in America, were hooked by the stories and stayed for the spectacle. The show's storytelling made F1 accessible to people who had never cared about motorsport before. Suddenly, everyone had a favorite driver and team. Social media buzzed with debates, memes, and fan theories, turning F1 into a pop culture sensation. The show made F1 accessible, relatable, and addictive. It brought friends and families together, creating new traditions around race weekends. Ticket sales and TV ratings soared, and the fan base became younger and more diverse. F1 events started selling out faster than ever, and the sport's energy felt completely renewed. Drivers became global celebrities and influencers. Their social media followings exploded, and they started appearing at events far beyond the racetrack. Drive to Survive proved the story behind the sport is as important as the race itself. It showed that the passion, conflict, and ambition off the track are just as thrilling as the action on it. It was the rocket fuel for F1's global boom, launching the sport into a new era of popularity and excitement that no one could have predicted. With F1's new popularity, how do teams make money? Sponsorship is key. Those logos on cars are multi-million-dollar deals with global brands. Modern sponsorships are deep partnerships with companies like Petronas and Oracle, providing tech and expertise. F1 is a high-speed R&D lab, and sponsors pay handsomely for access. Prize money is another big source, distributed based on performance and history. Even drivers can bring sponsorship money, helping smaller teams survive. The budget cap has made teams more financially stable and competitive. For the first time, F1 teams can actually turn a profit. It's a smarter, more sustainable business model. The financial engine is running better than ever. F1's digital transformation is at the heart of its success. Once wary of the internet, F1 now thrives on it. Fans want highlights, behind-the-scenes clips, and instant access, all on their phones. F1's social media is a masterclass in engagement, with YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter buzzing with content. Drivers like Lando Norris have become online superstars, connecting with fans in new ways. Short, snappy videos and interactive content have lowered the average fan age. The sport is now a 24/7 conversation, not just a Sunday event. Sponsors love the global engaged audience. By embracing the digital world, F1 has future-proofed itself. The old, closed-off mentality is gone. F1 is now open, accessible, and everywhere. Other sports are taking notes. For decades, America was F1's toughest market. NASCAR and IndyCar ruled, and F1 felt foreign. Liberty Media made cracking America their top priority. Drive to Survive brought the drama into American homes. But TV wasn't enough. They needed races on US soil. Austin was a hit, but Miami and Las Vegas took it to another level. The Miami Grand Prix became a celebrity-packed party. The Las Vegas night race was a spectacular gamble that paid off. F1 cars racing down the strip made global headlines. America is now one of F1's biggest, fastest-growing markets. TV ratings are up, there's an American driver, and more US races are on the horizon. By tailoring the show to American tastes, more spectacle, more access, F1 finally won over the US. The impossible became reality. America has fallen in love with Formula One. F1's growth isn't just about America, it's gone global. The Middle East and Asia are now key markets, with state-of-the-art tracks and massive investment. Races in Bahrain, Abu Dhabi, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar are now calendar staples. The Abu Dhabi Grand Prix is a glamorous season finale. Asia's Singapore night race and Japan's Suzuka are fan favorites. Global expansion attracts sponsors and diversifies the championship. Logistics and politics are challenges, but the business benefits are huge. Going global is a cornerstone of F1's boom. Formula One's transformation is a masterclass in reinvention. Liberty Media saw the potential to turn a fading sport into a global powerhouse. They sold stories, personalities, and drama, not just racing. Social media and Netflix tore down the walls and brought in a new generation. Drivers became relatable stars and every race became a major event. F1 is booming in America, expanding worldwide and attracting more money than ever. The budget cap made teams stable, and the racing is more competitive. Each Grand Prix is now a Super Bowl-level spectacle. F1 is a high-speed, high-drama soap opera on a global stage. The engines are louder, the audience is bigger, and the show is better than ever.